Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something huge in the tech world. Data privacy careers. They're absolutely exploding. But there's a catch, a big one, that a lot of professionals are running into. It's this gap between knowing the rules and actually knowing how to put them into practice. I mean, seriously, the opportunities in data privacy are everywhere right now. But that growth brings up a really tough question that you might be asking yourself: what does it really take to make it in this field? Are you ready for what's next? And this is the core of the problem. See, it's one thing to have the theory down, right? You can memorize all the articles in GDPR or CCPA, but it's a completely different ballgame to actually do the work, like conducting a real-world data protection impact assessment or getting your hands dirty configuring privacy tools. And that's the gap we're talking about today. And because of that gap, so many people just feel stuck, you know? You can see the goal, a great career in privacy, but the road to get there just looks so foggy. It's really, really hard to know where to even take that first step. This all adds up to what we call a practical skills gap. It's this space filled with uncertainty and a ton of questions that can honestly hold anyone back. So let's just break down a few of the most common ones people are wrestling with. First up, the big one, credentials. Privacy has its roots in law, so a ton of people wonder, do I absolutely need a law degree? And for folks coming from a tech or business background, that feels like a massive, almost impossible barrier to entry. And then you've got let's call it the alphabet soup of certifications. There are so many of them. How do you know which ones employers actually care about? The ones that signal you have real skills? And which ones are just, expensive lines on a resume? It's confusing. And finally, the million-dollar question. What skills do companies want right now? Today, is it all about privacy-enhancing tech, or is it risk management? The thing is, this field moves so fast that by the time you learn one thing, something new might already be in high demand. So with all these challenges, how in the world do you bridge this gap? Well, we're going to take a look at one company, CKonnect, that's tackling this exact problem head-on with a pretty fresh approach. So CKonnect's whole philosophy is about moving away from that dry, boring, textbook style of learning. Their entire approach is built on this idea that growing your career in privacy can actually be an engaging, lively, and motivating experience. What they're really trying to do is reframe that whole journey. The goal is to make navigating all these complex rules and figuring out your career path feel less like a chore and more like something that's genuinely fun and rewarding. Okay, so that's the big idea, but how does it actually work? Well, CKonnect has put together this whole ecosystem of tools to make it happen. Let's take a look at the key parts. The first piece of the puzzle is Course Connect. This is their direct answer to that theory versus practice problem we talked about. It's designed to focus the learning on skills that you can literally take and apply to a job the very next day. It's all about learning something that actually matters. The whole platform is really built on 3 simple ideas. First, no fluff, just real, practical knowledge you can use. Second, you learn at your own pace, so there's no pressure. And finally, the curriculum is built to keep up with the industry, covering everything from privacy to compliance and risk management. But this ecosystem isn't just for individuals. The second part, which is coming soon, is called PrivComply Connect, and this tool is aimed squarely at businesses. The idea here is to make the whole compliance process way simpler, so companies can worry less about the red tape and more about actually growing. Okay, so we've seen the tools they've built. But what's the secret sauce? What's the core philosophy that really ties this whole thing together and makes it work? It really boils down to 3 simple, powerful ideas. First, we get you. It's an approach that understands the user and tries not to overwhelm them. Second, we keep it simple. They're committed to breaking down really complex topics. And third, they're building a community, a space where professionals can actually connect with each other and grow together. So let's bring this all home. We've laid out the challenge, we've looked at one possible solution, and we've gotten a feel for the philosophy behind it. Now, it all comes down to your next step, that moment where your own ambition can finally connect with the right opportunity. And that's the key idea, isn't it? creating that perfect intersection where ambition meets opportunity. It's all about connecting that powerful drive you have to succeed with a clear path and the right tools to actually turn your potential into real, tangible progress. And this brings us right back to the central promise of this whole approach. It's about taking those big, ambitious career goals you have and reframing the hurdles. The whole point is to make learning exciting again and to make compliance feel way less intimidating. So we end on this thought. The path forward is a lot clearer. The tools are out there, and a community is waiting to support you. The journey to finally bridge that gap from just knowing the theory to actually putting it into practice, it can start right now. The only real question left is, what will you build with it?